The Bible provides glimpses of the beauty of heaven, but the book of Enoch takes us deeper into awe-inspiring visions of the heavens beyond what we commonly encounter. This ancient text, though not included in the traditional biblical canon, has captivated believers with its vivid descriptions of celestial realms. It reveals that heaven is not just a singular place, but a multi-layered reality, with each level serving a distinct purpose. So let's embark on this journey and explore what Enoch's revelations tell us about the mysteries of heaven. This video is brought to you by Bible Chat, the #1 Bible app to get Bible-based answers to your everyday questions. Bible Chat is like having a Bible scholar by your side, ready to assist you at any time of the day. So whenever you are at work or at school and someone asks you a difficult question about the Bible, you can simply open the app, ask it the question, and it will give you answers within seconds. Click on the link in the description to use it for free. Imagine walking beside Enoch, the righteous man who walked with God, as he describes what his eyes beheld. In his writings, Enoch takes us beyond the earthly realm into a grand tour of 10 different levels of heaven. These levels contain overwhelming beauty, divine beings, and profound holiness. But the journey also unveils a clear message. Heaven is a place of divine order, justice, and unimaginable splendor, designed to reflect God's glory. Remember to watch the entire video. You won't want to miss the powerful revelations about divine mysteries and the final judgment awaiting us. Stay tuned until the end, where I'll share a profound insight that could change the way you view your own journey of faith. Let's dive in. The first heaven, according to the book of Enoch, is what we might imagine as the sky that stretches above us, the realm of clouds, winds, and changing weather patterns. It is not merely a place of atmospheric phenomena, but a space teeming with divine purpose and supervision. In this realm, Enoch witnesses angels in charge of the treasuries where snow, hail, rain, and dew are stored, awaiting their appointed time to be released upon the earth. These treasuries are not chaotic warehouses, but highly organized realms governed by angels who act under the direct command of God. Every snowflake, raindrop, or hailstone is not accidental, but part of God's intricate design for the world. This description emphasizes that God is sovereign, even over the smallest elements of nature. The forces of weather, whether a soft drizzle or a powerful storm, respond to divine instructions. The changing seasons, the sun breaking through clouds after rainfall, and the balance between drought and abundance are all carefully orchestrated. This portrayal aligns with what we see in verses like Job 38:22-30, where God asks, "Have you entered the storehouses of the snow or seen the storehouses of the hail?" This shows that nature is not just a random occurrence, but part of God's intricate design, with his hand actively working behind every shift in the elements. Moving beyond the skies into the second heaven, Enoch paints a grim and sobering picture, a realm filled with darkness, gloom, and captivity. Here, the fallen angels, once majestic and powerful beings, are held in chains, awaiting their final judgment. These beings, often referred to as the Watchers, were those who abandoned their divine calling and corrupted humanity by introducing forbidden knowledge and sin. In this eerie and foreboding place, Enoch is confronted with the stark reality of divine justice. The second heaven serves as a powerful reminder that even the mightiest of beings are not beyond the reach of God's authority. This realm of imprisonment emphasizes that rebellion against God has severe and unavoidable consequences. The Watchers, who once enjoyed the presence of God in the privileges of heaven, are now reduced to prisoners of darkness, confined in misery, and deprived of hope. Their punishment is not merely physical, but also spiritual, a separation from the light of God's presence. The second heaven also offers insight into God's unwavering justice. Although it may seem that the wicked prosper for a time, or that sin goes unpunished, Enoch's vision reassures us that God is not indifferent. In contrast to the oppressive darkness of the second heaven, the third heaven bursts forth with indescribable beauty and radiance. This is the domain where the Garden of Eden still flourishes, untouched by the corruption that tainted the earthly realm. It is not just a memory of paradise lost, but a living, eternal paradise, sustained by God's presence and overflowing with life, joy, and peace. Here, Enoch witnesses the splendor of creation in its purest form. The trees are lush with abundant fruits, shimmering with heavenly light, and the air is filled with the fragrance of divine life. Rivers of crystal clear water flow gently through the landscape, reflecting a brilliance that words can barely capture. Enoch describes the third heaven as the dwelling place for the souls of the righteous, those who have lived in faithful obedience to God. They are gathered here, waiting for the day of resurrection and final reward. In this realm, they experience a foretaste of the eternal joy to come, resting in the knowledge that they are in the presence of the one they have longed to see. Their earthly trials are over. In the fourth heaven, Enoch witnesses the celestial bodies, the sun, moon, stars, and planets, following a system of perfect order, governed by angels who ensure these bodies adhere to God's command. These heavenly bodies do not move randomly, but operate with precision, rising, setting, and shining according to divine instruction. Enoch sees the sun's appointed path across the sky, the moon's phases as it waxes and wanes, and the stars fixed in their constellations, all reflecting God's sovereign will over time, seasons, and cosmic events. The fourth heaven emphasizes that God is a God of order. Just as the sun rises every morning and sets every evening, so too can we depend on God's faithfulness. Lamentations 3:23 reminds us that His mercies are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Just as the seasons arrive at their appointed times, God knows the perfect time to bring blessings, answers to prayer, or discipline into our lives. His delays are not denials. They are part of His carefully designed plan. In this poignant realm, the fifth heaven, Enoch encounters a surprising scene. Angels consumed by sorrow and silence. These angels, once mighty warriors, now sit in a state of deep mourning. Although Enoch doesn't provide every detail about their grief, their presence offers a profound reflection. Heaven is not only a place of joy, but also one where the gravity of divine responsibility is evident. This vision calls attention to God's mission and our role within it. These angels were entrusted with specific responsibilities, but for some reason, whether through circumstance, misjudgment, or disobedience, they did not succeed. Their sorrow points to the seriousness of God's call on every being, whether angelic or human. It is a call not only to obedience, but to faithfulness in completing what God has entrusted to us. The fifth heaven reminds us that failure is not the end. While these angels mourn their uncompleted tasks, the fact that they remain in heaven suggests that God's grace is still present. In the same way, when we fall short in our mission, God offers redemption and new opportunities. We are encouraged not to be paralyzed by regret, but to learn from our mistakes and realign with God's plan. In the sixth heaven, Enoch encounters a magnificent assembly known as the angelic council. This heavenly realm is a vibrant and dynamic place where angels gather to deliberate and carry out God's commands. As Enoch gazes upon this celestial council, he is struck by the radiant glory of the angels. Their countenances shine with a purity that reflects the holiness of God, illuminating the surroundings with an ethereal light. Each angel possesses a unique role, contributing to the divine order that governs both heaven and earth. Enoch observes as they engage in thoughtful discussions, sharing insights and strategies to fulfill God's will. This level of heaven emphasizes the significance of divine order and obedience. The angels, despite their immense power and glory, willingly submit to God's authority. Their unwavering commitment to following His commands serves as a powerful reminder for us. The seventh heaven takes us to the very heart of divine majesty. Here, Enoch sees the throne of God, surrounded by countless angels worshiping Him day and night. This is the pinnacle of heavenly glory. Where God's presence shines with overwhelming light, Enoch witnesses an awe-inspiring scene. The throne of God, radiating purity and power, stands as the center of all existence. The imagery of the throne room is not merely a description of a physical space. It represents the ultimate reality of God's sovereignty over all creation. Everything in heaven revolves around worshiping Him, and every being is created to glorify His name. This vision fills Enoch with awe, a reminder that heaven is ultimately about God's glory. It emphasizes that worship is not just an act, it is the very essence of existence in the heavenly realm. 8th to 10th heavens, divine mysteries and the final judgment. The 8th heaven teaches us about the unfathomable nature of God. It reminds us that God is not just a distant creator, but an active participant in the intricate details of our lives. Each piece of knowledge in this realm reflects God's sovereignty and the divine order that governs the universe. As Enoch observes, it becomes clear that while human understanding is limited, God's perspective encompasses all time, weaving together every thread of existence into a magnificent tapestry of his design. Moving into the ninth heaven, Enoch encounters a realm filled with light and glory, a sanctuary of divine holiness, where God's purposes are unveiled. Here the atmosphere is thick with reverence, and Enoch is struck by the reality that God sees all. Nothing is hidden from his gaze. Enoch sees countless books containing the records of every person's deeds, meticulously chronicled for the day of judgment. Finally, in the 10th heaven, Enoch is brought face to face with the ultimate reality of divine judgment. This sacred space is where God's final plans for creation converge, culminating in the ultimate reckoning. Here, the atmosphere is charged with both fear and awe, as Enoch witnesses the majesty of God on his throne, preparing to render judgment. As Enoch reflects on his journey through the 8th to 10th heavens, he realizes that these divine mysteries are not mere abstractions, but essential truths that impact how we live. The knowledge of God's justice, the weight of our deeds, and the promise of ultimate judgment compel us to align our lives with his purpose. Conclusion: what Enoch's vision means for us. The 10 heavens described in the book of Enoch offer us a breathtaking glimpse into the spiritual realities beyond our world. They remind us of God's sovereignty, justice, and the eternal joy awaiting those who remain faithful to him. Enoch's vision challenges us to live with an eternal perspective. Just as the angels obey God's commands, we too are called to walk in obedience. And just as the righteous rest in the Garden of Eden, we are invited to find our rest in Christ. The message of the book of Enoch is clear. God is sovereign, his judgment is sure, and his promises are true. Heaven is real, and it is waiting for those who live according to God's will. What part of Enoch's vision resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this exploration encourages you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future Bible studies.